With me tonight is Mike Bell, fresh off of his primary win for the Toledo mayor's race. And how are you feeling after Tuesday?
I feel great. I just appreciate the support I got on Tuesday, and we're going to just keep this machine rolling, and looking for a victory on November 3rd.
Okay. Well, before we started the interview, you mentioned that people had been asking you since you came in second out of the field of 6, which is enough to get you into the race in November, but does it concern you that you were second and not first? What do you say?
No, not at all. I mean, typically, everything that I've done successfully, I've started from the back and worked toward the front. And I think that it just gives me a goal to shoot for, and I'm good with it. I feel pretty good that I've only been in this thing since April, and to be able to keep up running as an independent, I think I'm doing pretty well.
Okay. Now, the budget right now, a huge mess in Toledo, and part of it is because people didn't react quickly enough to the declining revenue because of the recession and, Toledo losing population. As mayor, do you think you can help the city to do a better job to plan ahead?
I think we can. I think that you have to be able to sit down, and I've talked about using the council members as a board of directors. And you sit down and you actually talk about the seriousness of what's going on in a very transparent way. There's no hidden agendas. This is what we need to do, okay? If the people are asking that they feel safe in our city, what do we need to do? And we just need to work out the priorities and get to where we know what's going on and what we need to do. And there's no magic wand here. Okay, there's going to have to be some hard decisions, but that's what they're elected to do. And so once you realize that you're in a position, it's no different than, from my standpoint, being a fire chief. Sometimes there's some really hard decisions you have to make on, you're going to save a life over here, you might possibly lose something over here, but you have to make those decisions. You can't sit back and wait, because if you do nothing, then we get into these types of situations.
What kind of hard decisions would you expect to have to make?
I'm anticipating, just based on what they're saying, because I have not seen the information, I don't have all the figures, I'm not inside now, I'm on the outside, but that they're going to have to make some cuts somewhere, they may have to lay some more people off because they weren't able to get issue 1 passed. I mean, but whatever has to happen needs to happen immediately, because every day the clock's ticking and the amount is getting larger. So we can't act like we're not on the tracks just because we turn around and the train's still coming down the tracks. Just because you choose not to look at it doesn't mean it's not going to hit you.
Yeah, the city is still dealing with this year's budget, and next year's is almost out.
We just need to go ahead. I mean, if I was there, we just need to go ahead and do what we got to do. It doesn't mean it's going to be popular, but people are saying stay inside the framework of your taxes, and the state is saying that we got to have our books balanced. So we don't have too many choices. You just have to go ahead and move on it.
What would your leadership style be like as mayor?
Well, what I do is I take all the information from the people who are empowered to make decisions, and I listen to everything that everybody has to say, and then realizing that the buck stops at the mayor's office, trying to make sure I got a good feel for all the expertise that's around the room, and then make the best decision based on what they've told me. And so if I was dealing with business people, I'd listen to the business people, listen to what they're saying, and once it was all said and done, make the best decision based on what they said to me. If I was dealing with council and we're dealing with this budget, I'd listen to everything everybody said and then make the best decision on what they're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's not a complicated process. I like to be able to bring people to the table, and I love being able to listen to them, and ultimately knowing that, the buck stops at my desk, but you got to get good information before you make those decisions. You cannot make it in a closet. You have to at least give everybody that has some idea what's going on an opportunity to say something.
Okay. We have to wrap it up, but briefly, like in a sentence or two, tell me what the rest of your campaign will be like.
Well, it's going to be just focused, and we're going to take this with the energy that the Rockets are showing this year, and we're going to win this race. And there's just not going to be there's no stopping us. I feel like I'm that train on that track, and we're going where we need to go, and we're going to win November 3rd.
All right, thank you, mayoral candidate Mike Bell, wearing his Rockets tie. That is tonight's Talk Back.